Spokane Walmart is back open after a bomb scare.
And Pullman Police responds to recent reports and concerns on social media.
Plus, a familiar name has entered the 2020 presidential race. Murrow News 8 starts right now.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
We're the first generation to feel the sting of climate change, and we're the last that can do something about it. Join our movement. This is our moment.
Bump the field up to 13. That's the headline this morning for Democrats across the country as our own Washington Governor Jay Inslee has entered the race for the White House. Good afternoon. I'm Zach Anders.
And I'm Justin Spinney. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Governor Jay Inslee is now the 13th candidate to officially announce their bid to take on Trump in 2020. 68-year-old Inslee is staking his claim on climate change as the central issue of his campaign. In his announcement video this morning titled Our Moment, Inslee calls for a 100% clean energy push. His message does border on dire warnings of our inaction to climate change, calling this the last generation that has the ability to do something. Inslee, a fifth-generation Washingtonian, is one of the only from this state to ever run for president, the last being Senator Henry M. Jackson in 1976. But in an unlikely twist, Washington State may end up with two presidential candidates this year, as former Starbucks CEO and Seattle resident Howard Schultz has expressed his desire to make a run for it if he thinks the Democratic nominee is too liberal. And police in Spokane have reopened a Walmart this morning after fears a motorhome had an explosive device on board. Police arrested a man earlier this morning for unlawful possession of a firearm and developed probable cause for a search warrant of his motorhome that had been stopped in a parking lot of a Walmart in North Spokane. As police searched the vehicle, they found firearms, drugs, cash, and a liquid they thought could be potentially hazardous and a possible explosive. A bomb squad unit and Spokane Fire Hazmat had responded and found that all hazards were safe. This specific Walmart has now been evacuated twice just this year. In early January, 5 people were briefly hospitalized after coming into contact with an unknown substance. There were no injuries, and police could not find the suspicious material in that case.
Pullman Police Chief Gary Jenkins says the Pullman Police Department is consulting with the University of Washington graduate student to develop a plan to help guide the department for the next few years. Jenkins has been trying to develop a strategic plan for the department since 2010 when he took over as the police chief. The plan aims to find areas of the department that can improve and where it already excels and develop a framework to improve. The final stages of the plan should be finalized by mid-May.
Online rumors of suspicious characters around town and an active shooter scare has some on edge and others asking when police should warn us and how. Join us live now from the Pullman Police Department is Kanara Heinke. Hi, Kanara.
Hi, Zach. So I'm currently standing outside of the Pullman Police Department where several officers do remain on hand in case of any emergency. As you know, we've had 2 active shooter scares over the past month, the first happening on February 4th and the second happening on the 21st. And students are questioning, why are they finding out this information on social media instead of on emergency alerts? I spoke with Commander Chris Tennant this morning, and he told me that both these occurrences were in fact non-threatening. WSU students received an emergency alert on the 4th and not on the 21st, and this was because officers knew the individual accused last week. Commander Tennant says that students should be cautious in trusting everything they see on social media and ask that individuals seek out the truth as best they can. He further discussed the active shooter policy, which is to run, hide, and then fight as a last resort. Back here live, I asked what the policy is on sending out those alerts, and Tennant told me that it is on a case-by-case basis. But that's all we know so far, Zach.
All right, well, thank you, Kanara. That's Kanara Heinke reporting live from the Pullman Police Department. With the snowbank still several feet high, the Pullman and WSU fire departments are urging citizens to adopt a fire hydrant. Fire officials are asking Pullman residents to head outside and dig a 3-foot circle around curbside fire hydrants to prevent freezing and provide easier access for firefighters in case of an emergency. With the snow buildup, many hydrants have still been covered in snow and would be difficult to get to otherwise.
The latest Pullman City Council meeting discussions took place about moving the district court to the new City Hall. Ned Warnick, principal architect in charge of the new City Hall project, says adding the court to the new building is still possible, though there are foreseeable challenges like additional security checkpoints and a large increase in cost to build. The council recently considered keeping the court at the old City Hall, but the building needs large repairs in the near future. The idea of dropping the district court from Pullman altogether came into the discussion, but council members worried that people, especially students, would not have the time or means to travel to Colfax and get the services that they need. Two proposed House bills would ban single-use plastic bags and charge 10 cents per paper bags or reusable plastic bags at grocery checkout stands across Washington state. Customers who are part of food assistance programs are exempt from the fee. If passed, single-use plastic bags would be banned in 2020.
ASWSU candidates are preparing for the 2019 presidential debate this weekend. Quentin Percampus and Jordan Prescott, their campaign focuses on mental health awareness and sexual assault prevention, while Mariel Frias Gomez and Kamel Naputo's campaign focuses on increasing student involvement and to rework the ASWSU structure to be more like a team. These two teams will debate this Sunday at 6 p.m. in the Cubs Senior Ballroom.
A proposed bill would allow animals used by veterinary schools a second chance at life. Jennifer Power has the details on this new bill.
A bill has been proposed in Washington state, giving animals used for teaching or research a guaranteed second chance. The bill states that any facility that conducts research on dogs or cats in collaboration with a public university, like WSU, must offer the animals to a rescue organization instead of euthanizing them.
In the past, there was, among all American veterinary schools, there was a belief that animals in shelters in particular were waste, and so we could use that however we wanted to.
Nina Woodford, who graduated from WSU's vet program in 1996 and now serves as the director of the Office of the Campus Veterinarian, says she remembers what it was like after they used animals to learn surgical procedures.
When it was necessary, it was always done with a lot of compassion. There was a lot of emotion associated with it. We took the process very seriously because we knew that this animal was taking part in our education, and we had to treat it with the due respect that it deserved.
But for the past decade, WSU has always either adopted out their teaching animals or used animals that were volunteered by their owners. Kittens like Roxanne above me are getting a second chance at their forever home when they're brought from WSU to the Humane Society. WSU and the Humane Society are in full support of the bill.
It's very important to us that the animals go to their forever home.
In Pullman, I'm Jennifer Power, Murrow News Service.
Just how young can you be to get married in Idaho? You can find out coming up next, Zach.
Plus, which utility company is going to start using smart technology for tracking energy usage in customers' home? That's when Murrow News 8 returns.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
No more pencils, no more books.
No more teachers' dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
School's out forever. School's out with fever. School's out completely.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%. And it can happen in every place.
School's out for summer.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org. because great things happen when we live united.
Holy cow!
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good? Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Lawmakers in Boise, Idaho voted 39-28 against a bill to raise the minimum age of marriage in Idaho. The lawmakers said that the current law is marriage age is 12 years old, and raising the age would lessen the impact on rape victims, the proponents say. The opposition said the bill created too much state government interference with individual citizens' rights on marriage. The bill was said to have allowed a judge to okay a 16-year-old to get married with consent from their parents.
Former University of Idaho football player Kyrie Currington has pleaded not guilty to an alleged felony rape charge. The victim says she was raped by Currington in the early hours of December 7th. She says that she repeatedly told him no and attempted to hit him, but could do nothing to stop the attack. Currington is scheduled to go to trial on June 17th. A proposal for universal sex ed in public schools for all grades has passed 28-21 in Washington State House. In the heart of the Me Too movement, lawmakers who approved the measure said it will educate all students about rape, consent, and relation practices. Republican lawmakers from Eastern Washington opposed the measure because all ages would be forced to learn about sex, even kindergartners. But Democrats said the sex ed would be age-appropriate. About touching the office of the superintendent and instruction said this would increase sex ed from the 2/3 of schools who start in middle school to close the 100% coverage. The measure will now move to the State House for further review.
Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport has a plan in place for winter weather. The airport uses 4 main plows, with one that is specifically designed to plow and broom the runway. The airport also uses chemicals to defrost the planes and prevent them from flash freezing as they take off. During heavy snowfall, the airport can use up to 50 gallons of the chemical defreezer in one application on some of these flights that come in. Energy company Avista plans to install $165 million worth of smart technology here in Spokane. The technology allows for homeowners to track daily energy consumption, be notified when their energy bill hits a predetermined rate, receive alerts predicting monthly bills, and notify Avista when the power goes out. The eastern United States grasped onto smart meters early as more extreme weather causes more power outages and unnecessary energy usage. The Northwest has been slow to adopt the technology, but this current plan includes more than 400,000 Avista customers here in Pullman, too.
An effort to find other roles for disabled employees comes after retail chain Walmart announces cutting their greeter position at over 1,000 stores. Historically, people with disabilities held the customer greeter position. Greg Foran, Walmart's CEO, sent a memo to all store managers stating that, quote, because not all disabilities are the same, each case requires a thoughtful solution, end quote. Walmart claims it has already been making other job offers to employees with disabilities. They have also extended the 60-day period for disabled employees to find jobs at other companies if needed.
All public school districts in Washington may be required by law to develop a policy to protect transgender students. Schools will allow these students to use their preferred name on school records and all staff trainings. The Washington State Office of Superintendent's Office says the proposal will cost the state $38,000 to implement in the next 2 years. Legislators vote on that bill this Monday. Coming up next, you can find out how bras can help raise money for homeless women on the Palouse.
Plus, Lindsay Jensen has our local weather forecast. Stay right here with us. This is Murrow News 8.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing.
I'm so proud of you, son.
Then, we went on Thundershark 3 times.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Oh, look, a redhead.
Staring contest.
You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back. We're going to take a look at local weather with Lindsay Jensen. It's been pretty cold this week, hasn't it, Lindsay?
Hey, Zach. Yes, it's been pretty cold in Pullman. Today, the weather is remaining at freezing temperatures with the low of 15 and high of 29 degrees. And although there's some sun breaks throughout the day, streets and walking routes to Pullman campus remains pretty icy. So as you're walking or driving to classes, make sure you have snow boots or snow tires to be cautious. I know I slept a couple times throughout this week because it's been pretty icy on those walking routes. And if we look at tomorrow, it again is pretty sunny, so that's super nice. You can wear some shades as you bundled up. But it still remains cold with levels of 8 miles per hour winds, making it a little colder than usual. And if we look at the state map here, of course, on the east side of the state where we are in Pullman, it is pretty cold, still remaining at those freezing degree levels. And again, at the west side of the state, we are looking at higher degrees, so looking at the lower 50 degrees. So making sure that we're good there. And as we are looking at the 5-day forecast here for you, this weekend looks pretty nice with some sun breaks. So we're looking at this nice weekend ahead. So make sure you are looking toward that and looking for snow next week. So make sure you're bundled up and take care of this weekend. So back to you, Zach, at the desk.
Thanks, Leslie. Amazon announced a new plan to reduce their carbon footprint. Starting Tuesday, customers can choose one day of the week to receive all of their Amazon Prime packages. This reduces the amount of shipping materials and the amount of stops required per delivery. Maria Renz, Amazon's Vice President of Delivery Experience, says since testing the feature, Amazon has already eliminated tens of thousands of boxes. By 2030, Amazon wants half their deliveries to be carbon neutral. That's pretty neat. On March 2nd, Potlatch Public Libraries invites farmers to their local seed swap. The program intends to allow farmers to try growing new plants and learn more about seed starting and different types of gardening. The event is free to the public and requires no registration ahead of time. The seed swap starts from 9 to 11 a.m.
A community event called Mardi Bras takes place this Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. at Banyan's Restaurant in Pullman. Organizers of the event describe it as a way for community members to enhance the dignity of women living in poverty by donating new bras, underwear, socks, and feminine hygiene products, as well as toiletries. Money donations will also be accepted. There will be live music and a silent auction at the event. The event is free and open to the public, and food and drinks will be provided. Chick-fil-A's special sauce is famous, but there is a new sauce gaining traction on social media. A cheese sauce is being offered at 436 locations nationwide. The chain confirms the sauce has gained popularity recently, but some locations have been offering it since 2012. The sauce is a mixture of Swiss and Parmesan cheeses. That sounds delicious.
Mike Leach adds a new title to his resume. We'll tell you what it is coming up next.
Plus, Noah Schmick gives you all the things sports when Murrow News 8 returns.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
No more pencils, no more books. No more teachers' dirty looks. School's out for summer. School's out forever. School out with fever. School's out completely.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%. And it can happen in every place.
School's out for summer.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Noah Schmick with your sports updates. Pac-12 Coach of the Year, Pirate enthusiast, and now Mike Leach adds course instructor to his resume. Applications for his course opened earlier this week for his seminar class, and our own Brady Frederick asked students and Mike Leach how they are preparing.
This is by far the most excited I've been about a course at Wazoo.
I think Mike Leach is a super smart guy, and there's a lot you can learn from him.
I think he has a lot of insight, and I think he's just going to be a great class. It's going to be fun, and just hearing him talk is going to be an amazing experience.
Applications for Mike Leach's anticipated WSU lecture opened on Tuesday. Leach teased the course on Twitter in early November, and WSU confirmed it last week. The class, titled Insurgent Warfare and Football Strategy, blends the expertise of Mike Leach, WSU head football coach credited for popularizing the air raid offense, and Spokane County Treasurer Michael Baumgartner, who worked for the United States on counterinsurgency efforts in the Middle East.
Well, I've never made comparisons like football's like war, really, because I think it's disrespectful to war. But when it comes to the part about motivation, achieving goals and objectives, both cases you're going to have an area of space that you're trying to attack and achieve.
Although the class offers no academic credit, the applications are competitive. Only 40 students will be accepted. In order to apply, students must write 2 essays, 200 words each, on the following topics. Can the British strategy in the Malaya insurgency be used today? And is the wishbone a potentially viable offense for the NFL?
So I wrote a great essay about why the wishbone works and why it's a potentially viable NFL offense. I definitely had to study the British counterinsurgency.
Well, the biggest thing I would like is just a genuine curiosity to develop and study, to draw parallels between different subjects.
The class meets 5 times. The 5th session is open to the public on April 23rd, both via live stream and in person at the Spark Academic Innovation Hub. I'm Brady Frederick, Murrow News 8.
The NFL Combine started yesterday, and former Cougar offensive lineman Andre Dillard showed off his strength to NFL scouts. Dillard put up 24 reps on the bench press, ran a sub-5-second 40-yard dash, and posted a 29-inch vertical. NFL scouts are projecting him to be a first-round pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. Former Coug running back James Williams will take the field for the first day of on-field workouts today, and Gardner Minshew will take the field tomorrow for the second day of on-field workouts. Last night, the Stanford Cardinal handed the Cougars their worst loss of the Ernie Kent era down in Palo Alto, California. The Cougs lost by an astounding 48 points as 4 players nursed concussion injuries on the bench. To make matters worse, Coach Kent says that the Cougs will be without Jeff Pollard, Viante Daniels, and Carter Skaggs for their game tomorrow against the California Golden Bears. California comes off an upset win over 25th ranked Washington last night. The Cougs begin the final weekend of the regular season against number 7 Stanford in Beasley tonight. WSU is in search of the program's first win over the Cardinal, and tonight will mark the 65th all-time contest between the two teams. WSU dropped both games of its road trip last weekend to Colorado and Utah. The Cougs rallied from 12 down at Utah on Sunday, but could not complete the comeback in the end. The Pullman High School boys basketball team will take on number 1 seeded Linden High School this afternoon at 3:45 in the Sun Dome in Yakima. If they win, they will either play Renton High School or Sella High School for a chance to compete for the 2A state championship tomorrow. That's all for your sports update, so when we come back, we'll tell you how to relieve stress during midterms next week. All that when Murrow News 8 continues after the break.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
No more pencils, no more books.
No more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
School's out forever. School out with fever. School's out completely.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%. And it can happen in every place.
School's out for summer.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Well, it's midterm season, and many students are definitely stressed. Craig Brown, owner of Sam's Apothecary down on Main Street in Pullman, offers students tips to help them relax. Brown says students should consider yoga or meditation, taking extended periods of personal time between workloads, and smelling scented oils. He also says it's important to reward yourself for your hard work and that self-care is essential to ease the pain of school-related stress.
The world's smallest baby, left a hospital in Tokyo and is headed home. At birth, the baby boy weighed only a little over half a pound. After 5 months of nutrition management, he weighs about 7 pounds. He is now the world's smallest baby boy to be sent home healthy.
All right, that's our show tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.
Make sure to follow us on social media and check us out on nwpb.org.
Have a good night, Pullman.
Can't wait to get some Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A sounds pretty good.
Craving it.